What secret if exposed will destroy the friendship between you and your best friend? My best friend pulled up her stakes in the Midwest and moved east to be with a guy she met on the internet. She divorced her husband, left her 3 children with him, hopped on a Greyhound with absolutely nothing except her purse and a bag of clothes. When she got there, she moved in with him and, drumroll please, his wife. A few years later, she's lost track of her kids. One graduated high school last year, has no idea what they even look like anymore. In the meantime, she continues to live with the man and his wife, hoping that one of these days they will divorce. The secret that would destroy us. I am judging her. Oh, yes I am. I am too. That I hate hanging out with him in public. Every time we see a group of girls or a girl, he tells me to go hit on them. If I don't, I'm either gay or a P. Why can't I just hang out with you without trying to screw every girl I see? Why can't we just freaking chill? I'm the one who told her then boyfriend, our mutual friend, that she was cheating on him repetitively with the same douche because even though her boyfriend was a great guy, she thought she was too attractive for him, but knew he would end up with a high-paying job and didn't want to dump him. Obviously, I didn't give him the whole story, just enough to get him to realize without, hopefully, giving him future relationship issues. There needs to be more friends like you. You did a good thing. You prevented someone from making a very dangerous and bad decision. Don't think badly of yourself. My secret is shared between me and my best friend. He's the first guy I came out to as gay. We also fricked 10 minutes after I told him, and countless times over the past 8 years. He claims to be completely straight, and that I'm the only guy he has sex with, cause it's something that brings us closer together. I don't think his girlfriend, soon to be fiancée, would like that news too much, and we'd prob never speak again. Whoa, your friend is denial something fierce. Edit. Yes, I know you can be bi, but he said his friend claims that he is completely straight, so he'd just be in denial about that as well. Well, my husband is my best friend, so the secret that would probably destroy us is that when I had the talk with our daughter, I told her to come to me if she needed help getting birth control and never mention it to her father. He wanted me to give her an abstinence till marriage speech. You did the right thing. Even if she does abstain until marriage, she still needs the information. She still needs to know about sex and birth control and all other aspects of sexuality. Putting a wedding ring on doesn't suddenly give you all the information you need. Someone has to tell you, and it's better to get it from a trusted, knowledgeable adult. My best friend and roommate in college is just awesome. We're both girls. I feel so close to her that occasionally I have sexual thoughts about her and it makes me uncomfortable. If she knew, I think it would never be the same. Funny thing is, I'm pretty dang straight. I have a hard time making close friends and we happen to get along very well. She's also one of those gorgeous girls that gets stopped by men on the street, but doesn't acknowledge her own attractiveness. I do the same thing sometimes. I'm not actually attracted to her at all, but it happens to others as well. I absolutely hate my friend's her kid. That I've slept with his innocent sister several times with no interest in a relationship at either end after she spent 3 weeks hassling me to come over and have some fun, culminating in her turning up at my house at 2 AM on a cold night in nothing but a jacket and shoes. It's a lot harder to say no than I found. Oh, and she consistently sends me dirty texts pics whenever I'm hanging out with her brother as she thinks it's kinky. TL. DR. His sister is a dirty sex maniac. Read the dang paragraph. Came for the TL. DR. Stayed for the paragraph. I have caught myself resenting the fact he owes me so much money, yet blows what he makes on having fun. He is an awesome friend and moved into a spare bedroom paying very little for rent. He lost his job and owed a few $1,000s in back bills. I have forgiven that. He never asked, I just knew I didn't want to ruin a friendship. He was going through a hard time. But now he is behind again only by a few hundred, but I see him blow money all the time and it frustrates the heck out of me. I know he will pay when he gets his student loans in a few months, but it is very frustrating. That I hate his fiancée and the woman is going to marry, actually having his bachelor party this weekend. We have been best friends since middle school, went to college together, and are still best friends. He kinda got into a rough spot in life. College didn't work out towards the end, long-term relationship ended, and he started hooking up with this younger girl who had already had a kid. Surprise, she gets pregnant. Now he is working a job doing manual labor that he hates. I don't dislike his fiancée because of petty bulls either. I dislike her because she is a lying, cheating, and horrible companion to him. He would do anything in the world for anyone. He is the nicest guy you will meet, and through all of our years he hasn't gotten into one single fight. He just always has a way to make things better so it doesn't get to that point. She obviously tricked him with the whole IUD fell out line. So he does the right thing and moves in with her and they get engaged. He told me in a drunken moment that he knew she cheated on him before, with the father of the child she had before him, that he takes care of as his own while the dad still parties like he is in college and his only job is a pizza delivery boy. She cheated on him with this guy when he was getting to the point of having enough of her crap. Surprise. They had another baby. I know for a fact he doesn't love her. Now the wedding is in late September and all of the wedding party and our friends are coming to my place this weekend for the bachelor party. I have decided that I need to tell him the truth and to really give him some clarity. I know many people would disagree with this, but this is my boy. He is someone who was there with me through the toughest parts of my life. He is essentially a copy of me in so many ways since we grew up together in the same types of family and environments. I just could never live with myself if I didn't tell him. I don't know what he will do or not do, even if he hates me, even if he hates the fact that I told him that his fiancée and the mother of his children isn't the one for him, and he never talks to me again. I have to do this. If this goes badly, hopefully he will one day realize I was only doing this out of the purest and most unselfish love that I have, and he will want to talk to me. I just need to do the right thing. Frick you morals. I wanna bang him. It's the good old-fashioned crush on the straight best friend and I walked right the frick into it. It'd get really awkward if he knew that I hate her boyfriend. I think he's a horrible father and I don't think she's a very responsible parent either. Her daughter deserves so much better, but I can never say that to her. That I think his wife is a royal C who is milking him for insurance and his salary, and that the only reason she wants to have kids is because she's exploiting his unwillingness to get a divorce. His dad was a dong growing up and walked out, and he is more afraid of turning into him than anything else on the planet. As such, she can do whatever she wants, and he'll never leave. I am a girl and my best friend is a guy, a few years older than me. I'm sure he would end our relationship if he knew that I've slept with his female cousin more than once. When we were all applying for college, my friend told everyone how horrible her parents were and they wouldn't let her go because it was too expensive and there was no way they were going to help her pay for it. Unbeknownst to her own parents, she turned everyone, friends, parents, teachers, against them because they were supposedly ruining her life. I found out about 2 years later from her mom that she just didn't get her applications in on time. She and all her friends still have this unbelievable grudge against her parents over a complete lie. I've started to hate her because I'm the only person who can talk her into putting down the razor, and she doesn't even freaking try to be happy. All she does is complain about how bad things are, instead of realizing all the good there is around her. I've held my tongue when I've wanted to tell her that if she's not going to look towards the happier pieces of life, she may as well just kill herself and save me the trouble of having to ruin my night over and over so that I won't just have a few bad days later on. I feel like a monster, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. Depression is a terrible trap for those that suffer from it. Keep your chin up and know that her brain has tricked her into feeling this way, and into feeling like she isn't worth saving. That I knew that her now ex-boyfriend only went out with her because the other girl he was interested in turned him down. Don't know that it was a secret, but a roommate's GF hung out at our house a lot while he was at work. We, the other roommates, and their GFs and I would go out to do things with her. One night after playing pool for a few hours we were leaving and she grabs me and starts kissing me. She wanted me right then. I told her that I couldn't do that to my roommate. She broke up with him that night morning and hooked up with me the next day after telling me she broke it off with him. Dang bro, if you guys were friends, that feels like a crappy thing to do, emo. I went and saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 without him, and then went again with him as if it were my first time. The secret will die with me. You're among wretched scum. Till. I thought about this question and I can't think of a single thing that my friends could find out about and sever our friendship over. I also can't think of a single thing they could have done if the reverse were true. If a friend of mine slept with my wife, I'd be more angry with her than I would be with him. If my wife slept with my friend, I would move heaven and earth to ruin them both equally. Well, I cross-dressed and when I was 12, I used my buddy's bathroom, which also was a laundry room. I put on his sister's panties. Yeah, looking back now, not very proud of my young self. In high school, I accidentally started the rumor that she is horrible in bed. She thinks her ex told people, and even after years she is complaining bitterly about it. To me, of course. I swore I'd never tell anyone that she was the other woman. She told me in confidence that she'd been seeing her ex-boyfriend, who is currently in a 2-year relationship. They slept together twice and went on a date just yesterday. I didn't tell the girlfriend, but I did tell my boyfriend because the guilt was killing me. Not my best friend, but someone I've been friends with for a while. I think pretty much every major life decision he makes is a bad one. He majored in art with a ceramics focus in college. When he realized that there were no jobs related to this, he decided to join the army to basically milk it for the benefits. Problem is, he's basically the worst candidate for the army, as he's got severe celiac disease, literally shoots blood if he eats what he shouldn't, even in the smallest of doses, asthma, and a soy intolerance. He lies about all of this and the army almost doesn't let him in anyway because apparently he has veiny balls. No clue how veiny is too veiny. He somehow gets through his 2 years in the army and comes back to have a kid and get a master's degree in art and teaching. Problem is, he's going to school, and he wants his wife to be a stay-at-home mom, so how they're affording a kid, I'll never know. On top of that, him having a kid was an awful idea, as his wife has been tested positive for Huntington's disease, and with his celiacs the kid is basically set up with the worst genes that I can imagine. They had discussed adoption at one point, but apparently his Catholicism won out. TLDR. I can't think of a life decision he's made that I would consider a good idea. That I love her so goddamn much, but the world just decided to crap on that opportunity and have her be a lesbian. I've had many opportunities to love a woman but just didn't have the guts to go forward. Now the one time I have the guts to do it, she is a lesbian. We've had sex twice but just as friends. But I want more. I just want to hold her. I might have accidentally let the teachers in my school know that my best friend had a bottle of tequila in his bag and was drinking between classes. It got him kicked out of school and our relationship would be destroyed if he found out. He goes to another school now but still we're best buds. She slept with my now ex-boyfriend while we were on a break. Me and him were the type that would break up once a week or so and be back together by the next day. It's her secret that may or may not eat at her, but I know about it. She doesn't know I know though. Really good friendships are hard to come by. Crappy boyfriends are a dime a dozen. I feel like if I air her dirty laundry it will ruin our friendship. I was never mad at her for it anyway. My ex slept with tons of people while we were together. He was the bad guy, not her. I know the thread isn't asking for scenarios like this, but it's all I can think of. It takes two to make that mistake. Her boyfriend really makes me feel uncomfortable when he insists on being there whenever we hang out, like I'm a threat or something. Then I'm the third wheel because, what the heck am I supposed to talk to this guy about? I had, past tense, a bud who I have been through a large portion of life together with. As much as we like to talk crap to each other, he's the nicest guy in the whole freaking world. He paid off my student loans and let me stay at his place for a year, allowing myself to support myself now. When no one, not even my family, gave a crap about me, he would pass me a beer and we would talk till daylight. He was that kinda guy. Naturally, I tried to be a good guy and repay the debt. I was even his best man when he got married. That's where I fricked up. The day of the wedding was the first time I met his wife. We hit off really well. To be honest, I've never met someone so much like me. After they were married, a meeting between the two of us always included his wife. There was no complaint, because I found his wife a great person to hang out with. I work flexible hours, so once in a while, I'd pop over at their place. My bud worked a 9 to 5, and it was only her at the house 99% of the time. It got to a point where we talk more than she'd talk to her husband, than I'd talk to my best bud. Before I knew it, I started to love her. You'd think, maybe now's the best time to start backing away from his wife. Nope. I started having an affair with her. Only when his wife thought about divorcing him and told me about, I started to realize how wrong this is. I ended it. Told him that he should spend more time with his wife and moved out of the state. We still meet for drinks once a week, and apparently they had a kid. I still talk to his wife as if nothing happened. What sucks is that I'm actually still in love with her. I upvoted you for sharing your story, but frick you. Thanks for sharing though. We have a pretty masculine friendship, working out together, laughing our asses off at stupid YouTube videos and even starting a fake cult around one of our friends. Everyone sees me as an emotional powerhouse because no one has ever had any evidence that I've ever cried, except my mum of course. Today I decided to risk it and I needed a good friend I could confide in, so I told him I'm broken the frick up about my ex of 11 months, more than I'll let on. To the point of crying of course, and we both shared our problems. He's a great friend and I know he's going to read this sooner or later. I guess this comment is part of a secret, because I couldn't say this directly to him, and I hope he sees this and realizes that in the most masculine way that he is helping me through this crap so much. I don't cry, I water my pathetic beard. Don't cry because of kiwis, there are plenty in the world. That I don't think he's going to get better. He's stuck in a loop of mental illness and debt that he'll never get out of. That despite all the encouragement I give him, I don't actually believe that he'll get what he wants out of life. One night while I was playing cards with his mother, he and his father had left the room. She began coming on to me, in a verbal sense, asking if it would be alright if she kissed me. This spawned months of emailing owning other, and her explaining how her and her husband have a very open marriage, etc etc. Also begging me not to mention it to her son. In the end, the two of us remained the same as ever, while his mother and I had this sort of unspoken bond of affection that was never acted upon, but always remained. I'm not sure it's a secret anymore, and our friendship has been strained for years now. He started dating this girl who I thought was awesome. She became his fiancée who I thought was alright. Now she's his wife and she's a miserable C who has humiliated him on several occasions in front of me. And even though the loss of my best friend pained me, I never once stood in their way and encouraged their relationship. I came to terms with the new status quo only long enough to see her become a neurotic, controlling, borderline abusive C. I've told him I've become concerned about their relationship and how he's being treated, but he doesn't know how much I despise his wife. I knew my best friend's boyfriend was cheating on her, but I kept it to myself because I wanted to protect her relationship. I also confronted her boyfriend. Her boyfriend admitted to it and promised to never do it again, but did it anyway. He threatened to destroy what little social life I had left if I told her. She was once suicidal, but she got over that part of her life. If I told her that her boyfriend cheated on her many times, I fear she would commit suicide. I'm not scared about losing my mediocre social life. I'm scared of losing my best friend since the age of 6. I think she's the biggest S I have ever met. I can't tolerate her behavior around men, nor her need to be the center of attention at all times. Love her to death, though. She'd never speak to me again if she knew it, though. Nothing would destroy the friendship with my bro. He knows full well that I would bang his sister-in-law if given the chance. That I broke the DS he let me borrow. It's been 2 years since I've seen him, and the other day I remembered I had it, but when I looked for it one of the screen hinges had broken. Now I feel like crap and wanna get in touch with him to at least pay him back and apologize I'd kept it that long. Nothing that has happened, but mainly that I hate being in his shadow. I've known my buddy since 10th grade. I'm now going to be a sophomore. Every time I excel at something, he'll always find a way to beat me at it. I would lie if I said I wasn't jealous of him. The kid's a genius, athletic, and has had girlfriends the entire time I've known him. He makes me feel inferior many times unintentionally. That being said, it was much worse in high school, but it's still present today as we go to the same college but have different friends. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.